Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I'm continuing my Master Universe Origins Was It Worth It series of videos, mostly because I'm just enjoying comparing them. It's fun. But yeah, Stratos. I never liked Stratos, but I did kind of like the skin-coloured one better somehow. There's something about the grey that was boring. So for me, this is what makes the Origins line really worth it, when they actually do like a mini-comic accurate or a Filmation accurate character, rather than just recreating the toy. So now I am very aware that mine has one wing missing. I know I had it once. I don't know what happened to it, so I have to replace that. But I just really like the fact that it's accurate to the one in, well, not totally accurate, but you know, accurate to the one in the mini comic. So the one in the mini comic actually had like a little collar of red wings, and this belt was lower. So I feel like they could have done a separate piece instead of just making that, you know, harness red. But I guess, you know, it's all about recoloring and doing a cheap, you know, recolor. And that's better than nothing. So happy with that. Now next was Teela and the Green Goddess. Unfortunately, my Teela is very difficult to stand, so I'm just going to lean her against the wall. Now, the Green Goddess is basically just the Teela, because I agonized, do I get Teela? Because the Teela was really, just like the Evelyn, was basically exactly the same as the original figure. I didn't see any reason to get it, and I just got the Filmation accurate ones from Super 7. I felt like I don't need another Teela and one that looks just like the original, just with more articulation. Now that one is not the original armor. That's a set I got from someone who does recreations. I had the original staff, and I still have the shield, which is brown, but somehow the snake staff disappeared. I have no idea where it went. I realized a lot of my things have gone missing in the last few years. I don't know how. But yeah, so the Green Goddess, you know, she's a whole new character from the mini comics, and I love that character. So there's no question, you know, that I would not get the Green Goddess. But I'm still umming and ahhing about Teela. But something that did happen was I discovered recently that originally in the toy line, the toy was supposed to be two characters. When you had the snake armor on, she was the Sorceress, and when she had it off, she was Teela, or just the regular Goddess. And I'm like, I never realized that. I'd sort of seen pictures. I didn't realize that we were supposed to actually use the same figure for both sort of toys. So now I want another character, because I feel like, well, I need two, because I need one to be the Sorceress in that costume and one to be Teela. So I ordered the Zoar Teela box set, because she actually comes with the white, the fur on the top of the boots is painted white, and she's got the yellow staff and sword. So she's different, and she's within the universe a different character, so that justifies buying her now. So I'm getting her. And now I feel like I need to get Evelyn, because it's like, well, I can't have Teela and not have Evelyn. And it's like, do I get the original Teela as well? Because she had a different head sculpt with different hair and the red boots. So I don't know what I'm doing, but that's those two. Definitely worth it for the Green Goddess. And now Mer-Man. Now Mer-Man was one of the easiest ones, because like I said, this is kind of what is for me is the point of Origins. It's the mini comic accurate version, which is very different from the original toy and from the Filmation one. It was like its own unique thing. Now I know they also did the Beastman one that came from one of the sketches, but I thought that looked ridiculous. This Mer-Man actually made it into the mini comics, several of them, and I just think he looks fascinating. And I mean, I hated that the Mer-Man, the original one, didn't look like the Mer-Man on Filmation, but I've got the Filmation accurate version from Super 7. But this one was so different, I had to get it. It was like not even a second thought about that. And in the same boat of not even a second thought comes the mini comic accurate Trapjaw from the Terror of Trapjaw, was it? Or the Menace of Trapjaw, I can't remember. And of course the original Trapjaw. The original Trapjaw, he's a bit yellowed on his chest, but I'm going to keep him. I'm not going to replace him. I didn't get the Origins figure because I felt like like a lot of them just looked exactly the same and just had more articulation, even though it had arm articulation. But I thought maybe they'll do the mini comic version. I can just get the mini comic version, so I have a totally different version. And it's the best of both worlds. You get the Origins articulation and you get a different version of the character. So there was really no question about getting him, really no thought about getting him. It was just an absolute instant, just waiting for him to be made, and then they made him. The only issue I have is his skin color is a little darker and a little brighter and a little yellower than in the original comic. It was more of a light yellow green, and they actually use the same plastic as they did with Pighead. And when I saw Pighead, I thought, I hope they don't use that plastic for the Trapjaw when they eventually do the mini comic version, and they did. But it looks okay. There's at least one picture in the mini comic where it looks sort of that sort of yellow color, maybe one or two panels, but the rest it looks sort of like a lighter green. But I'm happy that I got him. Also, that's more red. In the comic it was more maroon, so the colors are just a little bit off, but the grey metal metal parts look awesome. And that was the comic that I grew up with, and I always wanted to see that version in a toy, so I'm really glad I got it. So I'll do the other ones when I get them. I'm going to get the Teela and Zoa set, and maybe Teela, and of course the Triclops. I can remember his name, Triclops. I'm going to eventually get the Triclops as well, so I'll do a little comparison between the Green Goddess and the other Teela and the Trapjaw when I get them. But I think that's the end of the mini comic accurate ones. I don't think there are any others, because it was really just the first 4 mini comics that had some very different ones based more on the original designs and early designs than the actual toys. They were always sort of fascinating to look at, and always wanted to see them in toy version, and now we finally have a toy version of most of them. And I just read them the other weekend, so it makes it even more, because I didn't read them back in the day. I saw them, I bought them, I looked at them, but I didn't actually sit down and read them. I actually read through them. That's where I discovered that Teela and the Sorceress were basically different characters, and all they did was change the armor, and that was what you were supposed to do with the toy, and I never realized that. So when I get the other two, I'll do another video, and I'm really looking forward to getting the Triclops one, because it looks so different, and again, it's the one I sort of saw in the mini comics and really sort of wanted it, whereas the different Teela and Sorceress, I didn't really know that was a thing until like yesterday. But I'm going to go. It's been a really long video. Thanks. Bye.